A carjacked vehicle crashes into a local restaurant. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Rochelle Metzger.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us. Well, as we mentioned, a carjacker, it brings new meaning to the term drive-through this morning when he allegedly plows with a stolen SUV through a McDonald's service window. The incident happened in the 6200 block of Annapolis Road in Landover Hills a little after 5 a.m. Latifah Majid has more on the story.
What a horrible way to start off the morning. This McDonald's really got a surprise customer when police say a man hijacked an SUV, ran into several cars that were waiting in line to get food, and then crashed straight through that drive-through window. Now, all of this was a result of a high-speed pedestrian chase.
What occurred earlier in the 7000 block of Annapolis Road, there was a carjacking. A suspect approached a male in an SUV, asking for a ride. The victim declined. The suspect then implied that he had a weapon. The male driver of that SUV fled his vehicle. The suspect entered the vehicle and drove on Annapolis Road. That person was pursued by a minivan. The driver of the suspect of the carjacking drove that SUV into the 6200 block of Annapolis Road, collided with another vehicle that was sitting in the drive-through of the McDonald's, causing major damage to the drive-through window. The suspect was apprehended.
Now, employees were inside the restaurant at the time, but thankfully no one was injured, and officials still don't know how long the restaurant will be closed down. In Landover Hills, I'm Latifah Majid, CTV News.
And the suspect was taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. The estimated damage is still unknown.
Local leaders are speaking out today about plans to help with the influx of immigrant children coming to Maryland. Yesterday, Governor O'Malley asked for help from the public to house migrant youth from Central America. A potential shelter has already been identified in Montgomery County. State Senator Victor Ramirez says there's a lot of interest to help in Prince George's as well.
Thanks for... No, thank you. We do have a large immigrant Central American community in the D.C. area. In Prince George's County specifically, there's a large community as well here. So I think that we have a lot of people who are interested in helping, and I think that we should, if we can, we should try to do our part as well. You know, I think anytime you're talking about children and being able to give them the support, I think it's always time sensitive. So I think that the sooner the better.
It's estimated that more than 2,200 children have already found families in Maryland since the beginning of the year. State officials expect at least 1,800 more youth to make their way to the states. Well, as we just told you, the governor met with faith leaders over the issue of unaccompanied children coming into the U.S. from Central America. The state is asking for foster parents to take in some of these children. CTV News asked some residents what they thought about the governor's plan, and here's what they told us.
Well, I think it's unfortunate that they have nowhere to go, and it would be great if people would open their homes to them. They need somewhere to go, someone to take care of them, so I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea. I personally feel this is a humanitarian crisis and that it's something that we have a responsibility to respond in a humanitarian way.
The O'Malley administration has also offered to the federal government several potential temporary housing sites in Montgomery County.
It may be summertime, but Prince George's police officers aren't taking any vacations. Right now, the department is implementing its summer crime initiative. That means it's using funding to take police from behind the desk and place them in areas that have high crime rates.
Each year for the past few years, we've done something called the Summer Crime Initiative, and it's where we take some sort of back office administrative positions inside the police department and we redeploy those resources sort of on a rotating basis through the summer months. And we also use some limited overtime funding to fund additional spots throughout the county. And we put those resources in places where we've identified sort of ongoing crime trends or hot spots where we see some crimes occurring. So each day this summer through the middle of September, there will be about 100 additional officers out at various points during the day, and they'll obviously be targeting whatever those specific crime trends are.
And police say that the crime rate in Prince George's has dropped significantly over the past 3 years.
2 Prince George's locations make the short list of potential sites for the new FBI headquarters. The General Services Administration named 3 finalists today: Greenbelt and Landover in Maryland and Franconia, Virginia. The GSA is looking to move the agency out of the 38-year-old J. Edgar Hoover building in downtown D.C. County Executive Rashawn Baker says he's very excited, telling CTV earlier today that the $2 billion project would, quote, completely change the way developers, businesses, and the world sees Prince George's County. The GSA will now assess the environmental impact of building on those sites, take public comments, and solicit bids from developers. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Rochelle Metzger.
And I'm Patricia Vallone.